Well, thanks again, Tammy, for taking the time to talk to me about what's going on here on this residential job site. Lots of things happening. And one of the things you were just talking about that I think is important to stop so we can tell everybody listening, when it comes to sales and estimating, there's some training that's really important. What is that, and what does everybody need to know?
Yeah, so one of the things that I've noticed on this job was that they do have some property protection, but probably not enough, and there's some inefficient movement of materials. So one of the reasons that I have created a training program just for estimators, and I like to work with estimators, is because they're the first touch, they're the first eyes and ears on any project. And so I've given them 5 things that they need to look for so that we make sure when the crew shows up, they have everything they need as far as PPE, materials and equipment. They know exactly what to set up and where. They know what their process is going to be, and they have everything properly protected. Okay, so they're looking for fall protection. An estimator needs to look at that. What are we going to do for fall protection on this job, and how? Because it's not always possible to deal with fall protection in a conventional manner. Okay,
Sure.
so they have to look for that. Electrical lines. Are there any electrical lines that I need to be aware of?
Right.
And if there are, I need to contact the owner of the lines. They need to be blanketed, sleeved, and protected, because we cannot allow our employees to get within 10 feet of an electrical line.
Sure.
They need to look at materials handling. There are a lot of challenges with residential projects. How am I going to get my materials into the project, onto the roof, without putting my employees at risk of carrying things up and down?
Yeah.
Right? And how are we going to get the materials out of the project? We saw one of the workers here really struggling to pull the tarp full of materials over the deck, down the stairs, right? And so a lot of these projects where there's hills or the homes are very tight together, if the estimator does not, look at that and plan that out, how are we going to move materials? How are we going to get the debris off the roof? Where are we going to throw the materials and move it in and out? These are very challenging, projects sometimes.
Yeah, like what you were saying, they need to make sure that they're allowing for, even you said something about plywood, and just
Right.
some of the things that you need to make sure you're protecting the property.
Yeah, so part of that materials handling is property damage, preventing property damage. And so, I've had, in some of our projects, we've had to bid in $1,500 just for plywood to protect the hardscaping, the bluestone patio, some of the lights and the HVAC systems, the air conditioners. And if that doesn't get bid in for, well, guess what? It's going to have to be done. It's going to come out of the project profits.
Yeah.
Same things with lifts. Sometimes, the crew gets on the job and they realize, how are we going to get back in here? We need a lift. And nobody told us. Well, it's not going to not happen.
Right,
If you need to get a lift,
and that's a cost too. You
it's a big expense. It's going to come out of the project profits. So to keep your jobs more profitable and efficient, because if we have to stop, especially in a state like this in Montana, right? There's not just a lift around the corner.
Right.
So now it's
well,
going to...
we're a little remote out here.
There's
took us a few hours to get here.
Exactly. So it's going to negatively impact our schedule.
Sure.
And that's a domino effect.
All the details.
So all of these things need to be thought about and planned for in the estimating stage. So this is where I work with estimators, to get them to be thinking, how are we going to do things? And do the guys, when they get here and they show up, do they have everything they need so they can just get to it
and start working?
And do they know how they're going to do it?
Right,
so that
time is money, for sure.
Right, exactly. So very important. A very important aspect of your project from a profitability and an efficiency standpoint.
I love it. Well, great advice, Tammy. Thank you so much as always.
Thank you.